Sir.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna start off by introducing the members. We got Alex Hosawful, Lucas Calabrese, me, Ivan Sukram, and we got Alex.
Whoa.
We got Patrick Stanley. I
Come
did
on.
that twice.
All right,
Twice
today,
in a row.
overview what's going to happen. Today we're going to go over Jesus' burdens in relationship to the Father. Who do you say that I am? Demons and the mustard seeds. And at the end, we got a special part for you guys.
Okay, so recap of last episode. Last episode, we talked about the Beatitudes, our relationships with God, and then God and the disciples. So that was awesome. Alex, sorry. You want to start us off?
Yeah, so we're starting off with Jesus' burdens and relationship to the Father. And so this is from Matthew 11, verse 25 to 27. And Jesus is explaining to his followers and his disciples that no one knows the Father without knowing the Son, and no one knows the Son without knowing the Father. And this basically is saying, like, you have to have a relationship with both of them. They're both one. You can't separate them. It's like the Holy Trinity. And then in Matthew 11, verse 28 to 30, Jesus says, all who have burdens, he will give them rest. Pick God and the burden is light. And Jesus is basically saying that he will lighten the weight if you follow him. So to trust in God, and when times are hard, like, God will never give you too much. He'll never put too much on your plate.
All right, and how we should give praise to God. I listed off a couple, and it follows. Praying, receiving adoration, setting a little bit of time aside to just talk to him and not denying your relationship with him. That one's really important because he wants to see that you honor your relationship with him.
Okay, so in here it says like how did like the Father and the Son have a relationship, and how do like the people like the Pharisees why don't they accept him, but then like the lower people who almost are like childlike who don't have a lot of education, why did they accept Jesus? So I really think the point is because the Pharisees have been taught also, but have had the education that they don't need a God. Like they can't just, like what we talked about today in class, like they can't just have their sins forgiven. It like, yeah, you can't go up to someone and say, your sins are forgiven, have a good day. Like they didn't think that, but like the people who didn't have the education, they didn't know that they couldn't do that. So I think they believed Jesus because when they saw him performing the miracles and teachings and stuff, I think that really showed like, wow, he is real, like he's true and stuff. So like, let's follow him because they have less experience being taught. So I think that's why they chose Jesus, is because they weren't taught. So then when they saw Jesus, they're like, wow, he is really amazing performing the miracles and teachings and everything.
All right, while we're kind of on that topic, we're going to talk about a deeper meaning of what it really means for God to take our yoke. What do you guys think that means?
Okay, that's actually a really good question. I think our yoke is a symbol for our burdens, like on the cows and stuff. Like the cross. So like
Jesus took up the cross.
yeah, I think that's like the main burden we think about when Jesus took our burdens was him taking up the cross and stuff.
Absolutely. I also think that we can always take our burdens or our yoke to us with church on Sunday, kind of leave there with a clean slate. I mean, having a clean slate to start off your week is very valuable, and I think that also adds a lot of value to people when they go to church on Sunday. Adds a lot of value to them actually going.
Like our weekly reconciliation, confession, and everything. I mean, that's a really good place to just drop it and leave it.
All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is Jesus' question, who do you say that I am? And so this is from Matthew 13 to 8, and Jesus asked his disciples, who do you say I am? And so a bunch of them are like, think he's John the Baptist. Some of them think he's like Elijah, a prophet or something. But the one answer that stuck out is when Simon says he's the Son of God, that he's the Messiah. And even though Jesus already knows that he's the Son of God, and he knows what they're going to say, he wants them to like realize who he is. And so this is when he first reveals to his disciples that he is the Son of God. But this is also in Mark 8 to 27, which we went over in class.
Mm-hmm.
And it ties to Moses when God revealed to him that he's the Son of God, when he said, I am who am, which means Yahweh.
Yeah,
so it's all wrapped together.
Yeah, that's a really good connection. And Peter was the one that said, like, you're the Messiah, you're the Son of God. And Peter was in somewhat way rewarded for getting the right answer. And what it says is what you lose on earth. Well, it doesn't say, but in like the research part of this, it said that whatever he lost on earth, he'd lose in heaven. But that also he'd be the rock and foundation of the church. Like he helped start the church, and he was given the keys almost to the kingdom of heaven. So his reward is not through like the human means, but it's through the revelations from God. That's why I think it's both heaven and earth. So like he's sort of, I think middleman is the right word to put it, but I think he's like the middleman. He's between both heaven and earth with the foundation of the church.
So we're gonna talk about why do we think the disciples weren't like supposed to tell anyone that Jesus was the Son of God. When you think of Jesus like revealing himself as the Son of God, you think of the story of the leper, and in that story, Jesus tells the leper not to tell anyone like that he healed him. Why do you guys think that the disciples like weren't supposed to say anything?
So in my opinion, I think it was because he wanted people to believe who he was, not based on he's a Messiah, he's the Son of God, let's go see who he is and stuff. I think he wanted them to believe, to like see who he was, not on his name, but on what he truly does, like what he performs and what he teaches.
Yeah, I think that too, but I think that he wanted them to believe through their faith and not through what they see and how he's healing them.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same thing that he said that we talked about in class with the messianic secret, and what Lucas is saying is like, it's if people are just gonna believe in him just to be healed or get what they want, that doesn't matter. It's about having a deeper meaning and like knowing God on your own personal level.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
just I just want to be healed.
definitely.
All right, now we're going to go over demons and the mustard seeds. I'm actually going to read the parable of the mustard seeds just so it's easier to make sense of it. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all seeds, yet when fully grown, it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. So my meaning of this is that if we put in the effort on earth and it may seem little, but when we get to heaven, it's going to be immeasurable. Like heaven is, you can't really describe it. It's just huge.
Yeah.
And then demons and the mustard seed, or the demons. The question is how the disciples can cast out the unclean spirits. They cannot cast out the unclean spirits is because they weren't completely faithful in Jesus, causing them to doubt and not being able to do it.
Yeah, and my bad. I think I have a different Bible. I accidentally ordered like a different Bible, so I think it says a few little things that are different, but it has like the similar message. So that's on me, guys. But going back to like the faithfulness of the mustard seed and stuff, you have to have a mustard seed is, I don't know if it's like the smallest seed, but I know it's a very, very small seed. But when it does grow, it grows to be something ginormous, like this ginormous tree and stuff. And so I think even if we had the littlest faith in God, just like the size of the mustard seed, I really do think that it can grow into something amazing like the tree. What do you guys think?
I think that the significance of like the mustard seed, I would say it kind of parallels like starting off with a little bit of faith in God, and then like how much a little bit of faith in God can really do for you. Like something like you're sorry, I'm having a little brain fart. Just move on.
It's Friday. It's almost the weekend.
Yeah. You want to go over our special part, our favorite Easter candies?
Yeah. All right, I'll start that off. Personally, favorite Easter candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Overrated.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, okay. What
is
are you
yours?
talking about?
Yeah.
Overrated.
What was
Let's
yours?
hear it.
What's
Let's
yours?
hear it.
Okay. Don't get
Yeah,
mad.
that's what I thought.
You're gonna get mad. Jelly beans. I'm just gonna say
Alright.
no.
No.
All right. Isn't
Absolutely
that
not.
portrayed in the movies as the Easter bunnies?
And hop.
Yeah, they're,
In one
excrements.
in one movie.
But he
I
likes to
think
eat
it's more
excrements.
than one movie.
Reese's eggs are the best.
No way.
There-
Reese's
it's-
eggs are the best.
It's overrated. I'm just gonna say it.
What about
Why?
you?
Why was it
Well,
be?
because
Why
it's
would it be
just,
overrated?
it's just chocolate and peanut butter. All the jelly beans have like all.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's a good mixture and all, but jelly beans have
What-
like
what flavors of jelly
30
beans?
Yeah,
flavors.
what's the best jelly bean flavor?
Oh, cherry all the way.
Basic.
Terrible.
Bro.
Absolutely terrible.
Reese's are basic.
Absolutely terrible.
Now, why is it
I don't
for
want to hear
every
any more of your
holiday?
takes. I don't want to hear any more
All
of your
right,
takes. That's
all
awful.
right.
All right.
Y'all-
So
you guys win.
now we're gonna go over what we all learned, what we took away from this episode. I would say definitely the mustard seed really stuck with me. Having a small amount of faith, and then how beautiful and how impactful having your faith can be.
I agree with Ivan on that one. It's really just if you put in the work, you're gonna get your reward in heaven.
I think like the most important thing is to, like, not just want something from God, but to actually have a faith with Him, just to have a faith with Him, and then you get the reward from that of like the rewards you get in heaven, not just asking for God. Oh, I want this team to win, or I want this thing. Like you actually have to know God, and just to want to know God.
I'm going to hop on the train with the mustard seed because our faith can grow so much with God. So I think that is the most important thing I learned today was just being able to grow in faithfulness with God.
All right, and for next episode, episode 3 next week, we're gonna be going over the topic of parables for you guys.
All right.
All right. Well, it has been great. This is the Boys of Christ.
Have a good weekend, you guys.
Be back
Yeah.
for episode 3
Next
on
week.
Tuesday.
See ya.